Adapting a sanding cabinet to reduce grinding dust. Part 1, Modifying the Cabinet. William Hovey Smith, 2016. I'm the owner and founder of a new company, Hovey's Knives of China. Now also, there is a job opportunity at the end of this video, so stay tuned.
This is Hovey Smith, the Backyard Sportsman. And this is a central pneumatic blast cabinet from Harbor Freight. And what we have done with it is modified it and installed a grinder on the inside. When we're making knife handles and grinding knife handles, some of the materials are actually toxic. And others, you just don't want to breathe that much dust, so it's best to capture it as well as you can. And that's what this cabinet is all about. And we've hooked the exhaust of the cabinet up to our friendly shock vac here. So as soon as we work things on the grinder, then it'll pull any dust out and put it in the vacuum. Its being on wheels enables us to move it anywhere around the shop that we care to have it. Now we've done some things to also dampen the noise. It's on a piece of rubber between it and its dolly. It also has a wooden sheet in place of this piece of metal on the inside, again, to keep the vibration and noise down in the shop. So we'll bring up the camera and give you a closer look at it and actually give you a little demonstration. You can see the grinder on the inside, and it has its own light, so we can turn it on. And now that it's running, the noise is not too bad. But we're going to be working mainly with this wheel right here. My clamps are too cumbersome to use in that confined space. Okay. Put it on a vacuum cleaner. We proceed to grind away. It's not going to take very long to work that down. I did not have sufficient room to work this block effectively with those clamps, clamping the two pieces together. But I did manage to reduce the wood down pretty good. This is nearly down to the index line where I wanted the grind to be. Now for finer work than that, I'll put this on the belt sander and take it down further to the final fit to the piece. There is some dust accumulated down in here, down in the bottom. And that is wood dust. But at least it is captured in here rather than being thrown out in the atmosphere generally. And some of it must have been vacuumed away because we certainly removed more material than that little bit of dust in the bottom of the cabinet. One thing we found working with our blast cabinet here that we're converting into a grinding cabinet is that this aperture is actually too small for even me with my relatively small hands to work effectively. So consequently I need to enlarge this hole. And so what we're going to do is actually square this off to about here,
and down and top and put a wooden shelf here so I have a convenient place to rest. Now that's about the appropriate size rectangular hole to comfortably work at that buffer wheel. So we remove the glass just to take it out of harm's way. And going to decide how we're going to cut that steel. Several ways we can go. We could use a cutting torch. That generates a lot of heat and is probably going to destroy that bond on the top. Then we could use the angle grinder. Noisy, rattly, rough, vibration prone, not as precise, etc., etc., etc. But I think that's the way we're going to try. We could also try to cut it with a saw, but that steel is just a little thick for cutting with a cutting saw. This piece, in case anyone should wonder, is much too hot to grab. We are now very nearly there. Okay, we have our hole. Now we're going to take this grinding stone on the electric grill and take off some of these very sharp edges. You can see how these feather edges, which can stand up, that's nearly a ½ inch, are super sharp. And so this would prevent any wood from actually fitting down over the metal, which I intended to do. So we've got them ground down now. So we can take the drill. We have our wood prepared now for our window. Now this is actually going to go on the inside of the machine. And I have it just laid out here on top so obviously you can see it. And we're going to put the shelf right here to give a good rest that has fine support because of a cross member inside of the box itself. We now just have the shelf just about installed. I just have one more screw to drive in. And this is flush with the outside because we're going to have a piece of canvas stretched over here to help prevent the dust from getting out through the holes where I insert my arms. We've now largely painted up our shelf here. And what we have also done is put in this reinforcing 2x4 block here, with screws coming through here and also with nails coming from the backside here, plus glue, to give support to this shelf. Not that it was probably really needed, but it does give added support. You'd have to take a hammer or a hatchet to break this assembly apart now, whereas before, over the years, maybe this bond back here would break, although I doubt it. However, it surely will not break now. So before I install it, I'm actually going to try fit it, make sure all this stuff clears, and then we'll screw it into the box itself. Well, I just finished painting it up, but like most guys, wet paint or no,
I want to see it in that box. So I'm going to go ahead and actually put it in. And yeah, I'm going to get some paint on me, but, well, I've had paint on me before. It's no big deal. But I want to see it in here and working. If I can get one in, I'm home. All right. When you're working with salvage materials, unexpected events oftentimes occur. And it happened here. I could not get this hardened screw to go. And what happened was, there was a piece of metal actually embedded in that 2x4. So the screw hit it and was turned, and so I had to drill it out. And now, yeah, now we can put the screw in. And there she goes, like she ought to have. We are about done with this phase of the cabinet. We've installed our shelf. It's in there, it's solid. The only thing remaining is to knock off these screws here. We are going to put in 2 exhaust ducts and mount them permanently here, and actually bend some metal pipe and come up here and through this vent. But we're coming along good. We do have this phase of our grinding cabinet completed. All we need to do is, this canvas has been glued on. Once the glue sets, I'm going to put a couple of screws here in the wood, 2 slits here for the arms, and this is just glued on the outside because ultimately from time to time we will replace this canvas. My cabinet making is certainly not fine craftsmanship, and I never intended it to be. I am by nature and inclination and training a military engineer. I take materials I got, I use the tools I have, and I make what I need. And if they don't look pretty, that's not too significant as long as they are sound and functional. So that's what I'm after with all of my projects. So if you're looking for a video on fine cabinet making, no, I'm not the guy for it. Although, I do need some people like that. We're going to start producing knives in January. And I need a couple of guys or gals, probably single I would suppose, who want to take this up as a serious endeavor. Like with any startup companies, we're not going to be able to pay anything to start with. You'll receive some good training, I'll take care of your expenses, and so on and so on and so on, until we can get this thing going and actually producing some money. However, that will come. And if you come with me, if you stay with me, then you'll have the chance to be on the ground floor of a company and even become a company officer. Interesting. So for now, this is Hovey Smith, reminding you to hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Be legal, be ethical, be safe, goodbye, God bless, and see you next time.
Here are some of our knives shown what is very soon to be our registered trademark. These are a few others of our patterns. There are more than 15 right now, and more coming every day. I am the author of Backyard Deer Hunting, as well as a series of outdoor books produced over the years, all of which have chapters about knives. And these include backyard deer hunting, extreme muzzleloading, practical bow fishing, and crossbow hunting. I also have a business book out, Ideas for New Businesses on how to start your $1 million or $1 billion business. And here is a little blurb about me and about my book. Now, if you are interested in taking me up on my offer and working with me, go and look at my blogs and look at my videos, first thing. And then you can contact me later. For more information on my books, blogs, and more than 550 videos, go to my website, www.hoveysmith.com. Good hunting and good eating from the outdoors. Goodbye, and God bless.